Yo, what's up everybody? It's Ravi Kumar and we're about to dive deep into the world of supply chains, but not the old school spreadsheet kind. We're talking AI, machine learning, the whole 9 yards. Remember those empty shelves at the start of COVID? Or when that one ship, yeah, you know the one, decided to park itself sideways in the Suez Canal? Supply chain disruptions were everywhere you looked, but behind the scenes something else was happening. Companies were turning to AI not just to survive the chaos, but to come out stronger on the other side. Think of it like this. AI is giving companies this crazy X-ray vision into their supply chains. They can see disruptions coming from miles away and react before things even hit the fan. Let's get into it. So, rewind back to 2020. The world went into lockdown and suddenly, those global supply chains we all relied on, yeah, they weren't looking so reliable anymore. Factories shut down, workers were stuck at home, and everyone from consumers to businesses went into panic buying mode. It was like hitting the pause button on the global economy, and then everyone trying to hit play at the same time. Chaos. We're talking about 75% of companies reporting major disruptions in their supply chains. Car manufacturers couldn't get their hands on the computer chips they needed, construction projects stalled because of material shortages, and let's not even get started on the toilet paper situation. Companies started to realize that relying on outdated systems and gut feelings wasn't going to cut it anymore. And that's where AI came in. Okay, fast forward to 2021. Just when we thought things were starting to get back to normal, boom! The Suez Canal situation drops. A massive container ship wedged itself sideways, bringing one of the world's busiest shipping routes to a standstill. We're talking about nearly $10 billion worth of trade stuck in limbo every single day. Ships were stranded, cargo was delayed, and the ripple effects were felt across every industry imaginable. The Suez Canal blockage exposed the fragility of a system that relied on these incredibly tight timelines and razor-thin margins for error. Any disruption, no matter how small, could throw the entire system into disarray. Imagine if we could anticipate these bottlenecks before they happen, reroute ships in real time, and maybe even prevent these kinds of accidents altogether. That's the power of AI. Alright, so we've had pandemic shutdowns, a canal-turned parking lot, what's next? Enter the great chip shortage of 2021. I'm talking about those tiny little semiconductors that power, well, pretty much everything these days. Our phones, our laptops, even our cars. The pandemic messed with the delicate balance of supply and demand. Factories shut down, demand for electronics skyrocketed as everyone set up home offices and classrooms, and suddenly these little chips were more valuable than gold. Car manufacturers had to halt production lines because they couldn't get the chips they needed for their vehicles. Gaming consoles were sold out everywhere, and the wait times for new laptops and phones stretched on for months. The chip shortage wasn't just an inconvenience. It had real-world consequences. It highlighted just how reliant we'd become on these tiny, often overlooked components. So, as if pandemics and accidental canal blockages weren't enough, we've also got global instability to factor in. We're talking geopolitical tensions, trade wars, you name it. The conflict in Ukraine sent shockwaves through global markets, disrupting energy supplies, sending food prices soaring, and reminding everyone just how interconnected our world really is. And it's not just Ukraine. Think about the ongoing trade tensions between the US and China, or the volatile situation in the Red Sea, a key shipping route for, well, pretty much everything. What used to be predictable trade routes are now potential flashpoints. Companies are having to navigate sanctions, tariffs, and the very real possibility of their shipments getting caught in the crossfire. This is where AI's ability to adapt and learn on the fly becomes absolutely crucial. Now let's talk about how the big players are using AI to not just survive, but to thrive in this chaotic landscape. First up, Apple. They're masters of supply chain management, but even they felt the heat when COVID hit, especially with those chip shortages I mentioned earlier. So, what did Apple do? They doubled down on AI. Apple was already using AI to forecast demand for their products, but now they're taking it to a whole new level. We're talking about using machine learning to analyze massive data sets, everything from historical sales data to social media trends, to get a hyper-accurate read on what customers want and when they want it. Apple created these AI-powered supplier scorecards, giving each supplier a rating based on factors like their financial stability, their track record of delivering on time, and even their environmental impact. This gave Apple a huge advantage. Next up, we're heading out to sea with Maersk, one of the world's largest shipping companies. They're dealing with everything from port congestion to geopolitical hot zones to those ever-increasing fuel costs. It's a logistical nightmare, but Maersk is fighting back with, you guessed it, AI. They've developed sophisticated AI algorithms that analyze a mind-blowing amount of data, weather patterns, ocean currents, port traffic, even political instability. Instead of relying on fixed shipping routes, Maersk's AI can dynamically reroute ships in real time to avoid storms, navigate around congested ports, and even steer clear of potential danger zones. It's like having Waze for cargo ships, finding the most efficient and safest route possible. Maersk's AI can even optimize a ship's speed to minimize fuel consumption, which not only saves them money, but also reduces their environmental impact. Talk about a win-win. Alright, let's bring it back to land and talk about Walmart, the retail giant that's no stranger to supply chain challenges. Remember the panic buying at the start of the pandemic? Empty shelves, long lines, it was mayhem. But Walmart was one of the first to bounce back, and AI played a huge role in their recovery. Walmart lives and breathes data. They have a massive network of sensors, scanners, and systems that are constantly collecting information on what customers are buying, what's in stock, and what's needed in each store. And they use AI to turn this mountain of data into actionable insights. Walmart uses AI to predict demand for products with incredible accuracy. This means they can make sure the right products are on the shelves at the right time, minimizing stockouts and reducing waste. Finally, let's talk about Ford. The auto industry was hit particularly hard by the chip shortage, but Ford is using AI to build a more resilient and agile supply chain. And their secret weapon? Digital twins. Digital twins are virtual replicas of physical assets, in this case, Ford's entire supply chain. They feed these digital twins with real-time data from their factories, suppliers, and even the vehicles themselves. This allows Ford to run simulations to see how disruptions, like a supplier shutting down or a natural disaster, might impact their production. They can use AI to game out different scenarios and find the best course of action. It's like having a time machine for your supply chain. So there you have it. From empty shelves to stuck ships, we've seen how vulnerable global supply chains can be. But we've also seen how AI is stepping up to build a more resilient and adaptable future. AI is no longer optional, it's the new GPS of global supply chains. The companies that invest in it now are the ones that won't just survive the next disruption, they'll lead it. They'll be the ones who can anticipate challenges, adapt to changing circumstances, and keep those goods moving no matter what the world throws their way. If you found this helpful, smash that like button, subscribe for more AI-powered supply chain insights, and tell us in the comments, what's the biggest disruption your company has faced? Let's keep this conversation going. Until next time.